Hey everyone, this is Anna from Shadowwick, and today my share of my practice slash creation for Shadowwick candles is my altar setup. So every time I craft, this is pretty much my area for crafting. I have a little creation altar. It actually goes up quite a bit. All my jars, I've got my deities. And then this is my main space here. I do have a little energy altar. That little Funko Pop is in memory of my dad, my Baba Yaga, or Yaga, ancestors and remembrance, Hel, Cernunnos, and then in the corner is Aphrodite as well. And then just all the things I use for candle creation. So I'm going to focus on my major area here. Anytime I sit down to craft, I make sure I have the elements represented. I have something of earth. I've got my stones. Got more stones. As I knock my torch over, more stones. I've got some crystals. So earth is represented. We have air, which I did not light. So we've got air with the incense. The incense I'm using today is cinnamon and orange. Really need to bolster some prosperity, some energy, really energized with positivity and good vibes. We have fire all around. I've got my protection candle going. My ancient ones are good folk candle, creativity, ancestor, and then this is one I picked up at some craft store. So I've got the elements. I've got my I have my candles lit for the specific reasons. Oh, water. There we go. That's the one I was on. Water, I actually use a couple of these beautiful crystal cocktails from Rock Solid Mamas. Shout out to Stacy and Rock Solid Mamas. They represent the water element. So I've got all 4 elements represented. I also have my athame and this beautiful quartz crystal chunk that my friend of mine had gifted me for, I believe it was, I think it was for Samhain. I think it was a Samhain gift. And then this over here is my beautiful box that my tarot box that my sister actually gifted me this last birthday. And I will put cards that I am needing energies from while I'm crafting. So today I went with 3 goddess cards. Sedna represents infinite supply in this card deck. Hathor, which represents receptivity, and Deanna for focused intention. I need an endless supply of energy today. I need to be receptive to the energies that are wanting to have craftings done for them. And I need to be receptive to whatever energies are calling to me and guiding me. And then Diana, I apologize if I said Deanna before. I'm not sure why Deanna's hitting my head like a box of rocks. But Diana, for focused intention, obviously focus is needed. And I always want to make sure I've got that focused intention when creating candles. And then the other piece I wanted to mention is there is my ancestor painting, which actually it's a sigil that I made for Bonfire of the Ancestors. It's got herbs mixed into the paint. It's got a crystal. It was something I started doing with Shadowwick, and it was something that fed my soul, but I was realizing wasn't really being received by our friends and patrons and customers. So it became something that I'll do for myself. And that piece was the first one I did, and I just absolutely loved it. It really stuck with me. So I always have that. And then the last bit I'm going to share with my setup is this beautiful picture my daughter made me. I think she was like 3 or 4. And Going through a rough spot. I needed to like crank out some candles, but stay connected. It's probably one of the hardest things with candle creation, and I'm sure just spiritual creation, period. I'm sorry, it isn't just candles. Any sort of spiritual connected craft. If you are a spiritual based business and you're trying to connect your spiritual energies into your product, and you've got like, hey, I've got a weekend and I have nothing to do, so I need to crank these out. You still need to be connected. You still need to put your energy in. It can be a very draining process. And if it's not, because otherwise if it's not, it's like, yay, I made a pretty candle, but there's not that spiritual and energetic oomph behind it. So anyway, I was really struggling because I needed to keep connected and keep things rolling. And my daughter drew this for me. You can do it with a little heart exclamation point and a rainbow, and I love it so much. So it's become my focal point of my ancestor, or not ancestor, sorry, looked over at the painting again, of my altar space, which, you know, I've got my deity altars set here. I've got my ancestor altar, good folk, everything I work with is embodied in this space. And then at the center of it is my creation altar. So yeah, so this is how it looks now. I do change it for the seasons and kind of where my energy is taking me, but that remains as always. So yeah, so this is my share. I've got my little pie tin, which is where I put the candles when I'm working on them. And yeah, then before I start, I have a little centering mantra, I guess. That's not the right word. Sorry, my brain is not functioning on all cylinders yet to actually be communicative, vocally at least. So I guess mantra. Anyway, I go through and I go, okay, I have earth, and I'll touch an element that is of the earth. I have air, and I'll either light the incense or I'll touch it. I have fire, and for that, this candle might be a little too deep for this lighter. Okay, so I have fire, and this is another good little spiritual lesson. If you're ever trying to do something that's really empowering or really magical or spiritually focused, and you hit a hiccup, don't worry about it. Blessed be. Just roll with it and it will be fine. So didn't have the candle lit, it wasn't working. It's still a connector. So I'm going to start again though. Earth, I have air, I have fire, and I have water. I can begin to craft in the spirit. Blessed be.